Hi everyone, we're at PP Podcast with Drew Anderson. How are you, Drew?
Not too bad for yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. So, yeah, I just got you in here just to see how it all works and to have a chat with you and get to know you as Drew Anderson, not Drew Anderson on the track. So, How did it all start with you then, Drew?
Riding wise?
Yeah.
That's a tough question. My dad used to ride, but he was never any good, as he would say. But I don't know. He just bought me a bike, and we just my nan, his mum had a little field opposite our house, and he used to take me around there on a pee-wee all the time, and it just built from there really. We started on the auto, and I've had too many crashes since then to remember too well, but there's this one time I always remember. We was at Mildenhall when I first started on my auto, so we had one bike, and my granddad bought me a spare bike because I was just starting to get a little bit, better. And we got halfway through the race at the end of the day, and I was like third or something, my best ever result, and my bike packed up. And if anyone's been to Mildenhall, you go through you go past the burger van, and there's a gate, and I just remember just pulling into the side there with my granddad waiting for me on the spare bike. So I jumped over the gate, hopped on my spare bike, he opened the gate, and I got back on the bike. But that's always one I remember. Yeah.
So you always been into bikes?
Me, but my dad kind of pushed it, but I always, to be fair, it's been the only way forward, I think, since then.
Yeah, and it's great, obviously when you're out there, you're in your own little world and you enjoy it.
That's the way I see it. Sometimes it's just an escape, but I enjoy riding just for the sake of, riding, and just kind of lucky that I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah, well, yes you are. I mean, MX1 Pro. And so what age did you start getting on the bike?
Oh, I must have been, my dad put me on a PW practice when I was about 3, I think, but properly, I think I was about 5, I think. My dad bought me my first KTM, somewhere around that, and then started racing since then. And
what kind of races did you do? What grades?
It was East Anglia. It was East Anglia the whole way through.
Yeah.
And then obviously we went through the first year, and my auto was a bit of a wobbler, so I wasn't that good. I really wasn't. Yeah. And do you know what? And then my dad bought me a brand new auto, the only auto we had for the second year. And for some reason, I remember we was at Meepow, and I forgot who it was. There was this guy that I just really wanted to beat. He was winning the races. I'm not sure who it was. I'm really not sure who it was. And me and my dad were walking the track, and he just said to me, "If you want to win, just don't shut off." And I was like, and I trusted him what he said. He always says this to me, and he always reminds me of this situation. I just went out there and I didn't shut off, and somehow won. And that flipped the switch for me. After that, it was just wins. And then we'd done really well on the auto. Moved up to the 65, and it was kind of the same, but we had some better competition.
And you just progressed from that. So you was always at East Anglia.
Yeah, I think the first national I ever did was on my 65, but it wasn't like a full series. It was just I think we went to a one-off at Fox Hills.
Okay.
And it was torrential rain, but I think I got 11th, and that was on the 65. But other than that, even on the small wheel, it was kind of just like GT Cup and Master Kids.
Yeah. And Master Kids, you did quite well in that one, didn't you? At Mildenhall.
Yeah, I've won. Yeah, the first ever Master Kids I raced was at. I think every Master Kids I've raced, I think I've won. I won Kings Lynn.
Yeah.
That was my first one I ever raced, and then I raced at Mildenhall, and then Mildenhall again on my 250. Yeah. So that's 3.
Okay. And then obviously, you moved on, and then you got your place in KTM.
Yeah. So
how did that all happen?
So I moved up to a 125 when I was around about 13 because the big wheel really it was good, but we wanted to step up into the nationals, and there's to me the 85 at that point in my time there was no point doing it. So we went 13 years old. I just went straight onto a 125 and then do a 125 class at the GT Cup. So against guys like Jim Davies, some real fast guys back then, like Jim Davies, like Troy Willett and stuff like that. And some real good guys that I shouldn't have been beaten, but we rocked up to the first round, and I think it was third, and then the last race I won.
Yeah.
So we built it from there, and then the second year, we were still privateer on a Husky. That's when Mick and Deb stepped up at Destination MX, and we were competing at the British, like against guys Rossi Beard, like Callum Mitchell. Like that class was super stacked. Ryan, Max Ingham, like real fast guys. Sam Nunn as well.
Yeah.
And Rossi was just unbeatable that year. We couldn't beat him, so everyone was just settling for second place. So the battle was for second place, and managed to bring back second place in the championship. And then I obviously got selected to represent GB at Estonia.
All right.
Yeah, that was great. That went well.
How'd you come in? Where'd you come in that?
Went out in free practice, and some guy cross jumped me. There was a triple coming out of a turn. He cross jumped me, and I clipped my hand, and I broke my same hand. So it's the same problem all the time. But you know, and after that, KTM kind of the Judd Orange Brigade kind of put together a program with, I think it was 2 riders per class, but no, it was 1 rider per class for the first year. And thankfully they selected me, and you know, we got to compete at the British Championship, and the first round I went 1-1-1 by, I don't even know,
Country mile.
Yeah, walked it. Same as the second round, third rounds, and then, you know, Ike Carter started coming through, and then we was having a great battle, and I had the points lead until Sherwood, and my bike blew up, and I lost the points lead, and you know, it was all crazy, but managed to wrap up that British Championship.
Yeah.
And then after that, really came the 250F. We stayed on the Judge Orange Brigade, but there was never really we never really found a setup for the 250F.
No.
It never went well. We just couldn't get the engine right. The suspension was off. The bike, like even the clamp offsets and the bars, it was not, like the bike just wasn't doing what we couldn't get the bike to do what I wanted it to do at all.
Right.
So then we took a step back, and then we went to a 252 stroke. And the same as the 252 stroke, the bike was fast, but we couldn't get the setup, the right suspension, nothing like that. And then after that, Dad said, "Look, we have no choice. The only bike you haven't tried is a 450. And I said, "Oh, well, I don't think I'm ready for that." And he said, "Well, you have nothing to lose." So we hopped on a 450. The first weekend I ever rode it, we raced at Roxon, and I went 1-1-14, I think, because I crashed at the end of the races twice. But we won the first ever race on the 450, and it was, you know, I fell in love with it after that, I think.
And you've been on a 450 ever since?
Yeah, I think it's about 2.5 years. I think it's 2 years now I've been on a 450.
And that's a Husqvarna?
Yeah, Husqvarna 450, yeah.
And then obviously Debs and Mick came on board, and they
they made a nice little setup for the team, you know. We had like Leah on board, a Pico, all the good guys, and you know, the bike was really good, and Deb and that gave me a great spares budget and stuff like that. They really helped me through. They really helped me push to the next level with, you know, tyres, stuff like that. So.
And and obviously, how did you get on in those 2 years that you were with Destination MX?
Amazing, to be honest. I couldn't ask for any more from Mick and Deb.
No.
They really helped me, even through when I was on my 125 when I was about 14. They've always been by my side and always been supporting me. So I
That's
can't.
brilliant.
I can't.
You can't knock
never
that.
fault them. Same as Carl Anderson. I remember Carl Anderson coming up to me when I was on a small wheel at Bonneville. And he asked if if I'd like my suspension done by him, and I didn't even know what suspension like setups was back then. And that I must have been 11. I must have been 10, 11. And ever since then, he stuck by me, and he's you can't fault the man.
No,
he's very top man.
Yeah, I mean, he was doing Callum's yesterday because obviously Callum's got injured, so they swapped it over and put his new suspension. And obviously, then you came on board with us, and you did the British and the Bridgestones. How's that gone for you?
The British, I came in this year with an injury, and the goal for the British is just to always score points, you know. I obviously with the new Husqvarna, what would you guys call it? The new Husqvarna setup this year, they obviously changed the bike. So I came in this year because I had broke my hand in the off season. So I came in, I didn't ride 3 months to the British. The first time I ever rode was straight into Oakhanger at the British, and I qualified quite well. Yeah, and I was running in about P16 in the first moto. Yeah. And I come round a turn, and I clipped the I think it was a Marshall box, and I redone my hand again, so I pulled off. But to be fair, the speed's been coming along. We've just been struggling with a bit of bike setup. So. Yeah,
and that's the thing. It takes time, and once you get it set up, you're dialed in.
Set up,
and obviously you did the Bridgestones. How's that going?
The Bridgestones, I love doing the Bridgestones. I think they're just so laid back. It's just like, I don't know, it's just a good vibe. There's no pressure at the Bridgestones or nothing like that. So I rock up there just to get the experience and try and run the pace, and Yeah, I have some really good results at the Bridgestone, to be fair, so I can't complain.
Okay, and obviously, what do you do when you're not riding? Do you at work, or do you go college?
To be honest, I just ride. I'm mostly riding. Sometimes I help at the family business, but other than that, really, it's just riding, fitness, and playing football, really.
Okay, yeah. And the family business, what's that?
They run a construction company. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And that's going well?
Yeah, really well, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
And obviously your uncle, Aaron.
Yeah.
And he does the fencing.
Yeah.
And he was at Peterborough yesterday?
Yeah.
So he did quite well.
Did he?
At Arncott, sorry. He went to Arncott with
I saw the rain. Yeah, I saw the rain.
The rain was absolutely terrible. There was, I think it rained all day Saturday for him. And I think there was only one set of racing.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Obviously, Caden was there, so that was quite good.
Yeah,
And obviously the other half was with us at Oxford.
Yeah.
But, at the end of the day, it's all about enjoying yourself. And you seem like you're in that zone now where the last couple of races you've done.
Yeah, we kind of changed the programme a bit. Me and my dad, we sat back and we thought, there's no point showing up to the British and racing 30-minute races without a bike setup, because really I get to the 20 minute mark and I just have nothing left. I have no form, I have no style, or nothing, no technique, and it's making me tired. So we thought, why don't we just step back, get the intensity off the gate, and just race some lower level stuff. So that's what we've done, and we've seemed to get the bike perfectly right. So now we're going to step back into the British. Yeah. But yeah, it's been great. I think I've won 12 of my last 13 races, which is great. And there's been some good competition in the races. We had Canada Heights, Sherwood, and Cullen. Yeah. So we've been racing at like quite high level tracks.
Well, and that's with and just enjoying yourself. And
No, we just. Dad said, "Well, do you want to go practicing and try and get the setup there?" I was like, "Nah, there's no feeling other than going off the gate and actually just getting the intensity off the gate." So.
And do you see this progressing into a career, or just having fun at the moment?
No, it's great. I do well from how I am now, so I can't complain. I'm happy to keep going like this. So.
Well, that's the main thing. As long as you enjoy it, and that's you liked. I can see when you're on that gate, you fully focused.
Yeah. So.
And you always been like that?
Yeah. No, for some reason I've always seemed quite switch on and quite. I wouldn't say I'm the smartest, academically. Yeah. As I'd like to say, but when it comes to racing. Or sports even as such, I'd like to think I've got quite a good mindset and quite smart.
And you obviously play football?
Yeah.
So what position do you play?
Oh, anywhere really, literally anywhere. Play up front, behind, wherever. I don't mind. I just play for the fun, and it's fun fitness, because I'm not a big enjoyer of the gym, so. I
can understand that.
Yeah, so football 3-4 times a week does my.
And what team do you play for? A local team?
No, I don't really play for a team. Me and my mates play for our own team, and we just play on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So.
Oh, that's great. It keeps you active all the time. Yeah. And then obviously we're coming back into motocross, and obviously we've got a couple of weeks off, and then we've got the Bridgestone at Oxford Motor Park, and then the MX Nationals at Cussies. Yeah. And then the last round of the British at Oxford Motor Park again. Yeah. So hopefully we'll see you there. And hopefully you do well.
Yeah, thank you, Paul.
That's fine. We just want you to enjoy yourself. That was a part. And how do you feel being on Team PP? Do you enjoy it?
I feel great. The team setup's amazing. I can't fault every minor little issue I've had. If I needed tyres, if I needed kits, if I need oils, Paul's right there to help me, or Bickers, or Hawk even. They're right there to supply me with the kits. And it's been great. But. I think the team really works well with how me and my dad race, because without my dad, he's a champion. He does everything for me. What a guy. I owe most 99% of my achievements to that guy. Yeah. Shows up when I need him, through the down times, through the high times, every time bike setup's always perfect, he's always got his notepad and he's bang on it. Yeah. On and off the track, he's always helping me mentally. On the track, I don't even have to say a word, and we have that where he can just set up the bike perfectly before I even know it, So I owe that guy a lot. He's a good man.
And what tracks do you like racing at? What is your favourite track?
Ooh, I think Canada Heights, when it's prepped like the British prep it. I think Canada Heights has definitely got to be the one.
And what's one of your worst tracks?
Fat Cats, I reckon. Yeah, Fat Cats. A struggle around Fat Cats all the time. Just can't do it.
can't dial it in.
Nah, that's the spot on. I can't dial it in.
And obviously, you go away winters. Normally, you go to Belgium.
Yeah, France, Belgium. Yeah.
And what's your favourite track out there?
It's probably Lommel.
Yeah.
I did like Honda Pub. Obviously, that's closed down now. But I'm a big Lommel and Dunkirk guy. I think.
Yeah,
I do like a bit of sand.
And who do you like to follow most of the time when you're sitting back at home? What kind of riders do you like to watch?
Do you know what? Big fan of Prado. I like Prado. He's a very talented guy. Probably Tom Vial. Tom Vial's good guys. They're both top class. So if I do, to be fair, I don't watch too much motocross, but when I do, it's normally between those two. I think. Yeah.
And Supercross?
Supercross. Yeah, I like a bit of Supercross. Same riders though. I just I don't really enjoy. Some of the top runners as such. Like, I'm not the greatest fans of like Lawrence and Hurlins and stuff, but they're amazing riders. But I kind of like watching, like Justin Cooper or stuff like that.
And then obviously, have you ever lined up with any of, seen them all and been on the same?
Have I ever lined? I mean, I've lined up against Hurlins, So
Yeah,
they're all great names. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you throw back to Sales Career, he's had a mate. Same as Simpson. Like lining up against those guys it's an experience, is what I should say. It is a great experience. They're good. They're top guys. But I actually can't. I don't think I've ever lined up against anyone that's like other than Hurlins. I don't think.
No.
I've lined up against like good guys when I raced the EMX, the World Championship. I ride like Horgmo, Gianluca Facchetti, like people like that are Peter Polak that are like racing the GPs now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've had some good competition over the years. Yeah.
Well, that's the main thing. Have you just stretched? Have you just stayed in Spain or anywhere like that?
I went to Spain a few years back. Dad always offers. He always says, "Would you like to go to Spain or would you like to try Italy?" But like, to be honest, I just think that what suits me the best is, because obviously I'm not so hard I'm in the gym, but I'm not too hard on it. Is my off season. So like the hard tracks like Lommel, Dunkirk, that get really rough and technical. I think it really helps my fitness. Doing 30s around those, I think, really benefits me for the season, which I obviously missed out on this year, which has put me a bit further back. I think that's what's most beneficial to me. The way I see Spain is it's fun. It's a holiday, really. Like, you go there, you put in a few motos, throw some whips, but it's easy to get sidetracked over in Spain.
It is, yeah, because you think you're on holiday and you're not.
Yeah. But at Belgium, the weather's quite. What would be the word?
Same as here.
Yeah, it's quite grey and quite like mellow, and you're there to do your job. So
when you were growing up, was you out with your uncle or was you with your dad all the time?
It was with my dad all the time. Me and my dad. It was all the way till around about, because Aaron used to race when he was. Obviously, my uncle used to race when he was younger, but he took some years out of it, and he come back when I must have been on around about second year of my 125, I think. So quite a few years back now.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was just me and my dad all the way through till then.
Yeah, and you're quite a supportive unit with your mum and your sister.
Yeah,
they come with you when you go.
Yeah. Mostly it's me and my dad, and then obviously my mum. So obviously Jessie has her own life now, which obviously we're like bipolar opposites. So but it's normally me, my mum, my dad. And my girlfriend, obviously, So,
and your granddad?
Yeah, my granddad comes sometimes, We have quite like it's a great setup because everybody knows the way I like to treat my race days, and everyone knows how I like my bike and knows how what to look for when I'm riding to see if I'm uncomfortable, or how I like my goggles prepped and stuff like that. So it's like there's a lot of trust within the circle I have,
family.
Yeah. So it's just the best way. I've had a lot of choices options to be able to change that, but I wouldn't change it because it's just like there's no point relearning it with anybody else.
No, because your family is your family.
Yeah, of course.
And at the end of the day, they them, they know you.
Yeah, of course.
And obviously, we're coming. You come into the end with us for the first year. It's been going well. Happy. Obviously, we got the last 3 rounds of the Eastern Centre. You quite like that Eastern Centre, didn't you?
I raced at Ling because that's when we first decided to take a step back from the British, and Ling was the weekend straight after. So. We hopped straight into Ling, and I think it was like a fifth. I think we got qualified 5th or 6th. I can't remember my results, but they were like 5ths. And I think, to be fair, the level was quite high. Those local guys are impressive around those tracks. Like I would love to be able to like ride at Ling and Blackstall 24, not 24/7, I should say, because they're never on, but like 80% of the time, like those guys do, to actually like try and race them at their pace.
Yeah.
But hats off to those guys.
Well, no, you did really well. I mean, you came in and you finished. You came in, I think, 4th overall.
Yeah.
I mean,
really
for
good,
your first one,
yeah.
was absolutely immense, and then you just went on this roll that you haven't been off.
Yeah.
So your confidence is sky high.
Yeah, it's great. My confidence is. These last few weeks have done wonders for my confidence.
And it's good to see the old Drew.
Yeah.
I remember seeing you on a 125, and you were killing it.
Yeah.
So it's good to have you back. But as I said, it was just to have a chat with you, get you into this podcast, and great to see you, Drew.
Yeah, great to see you, Paul. I appreciate it, mate.